on the road.
So today we're heading up the mountain up there. As far as we can drive it. This is the good section of the road. The bad section of the road we're going to walk. Because this is how you violate your rental car contract right here. And you can either push your luck or just exercise your luck. We're exercising it, and we're in a Jeep, so that helps a whole lot. Because I sure as hell wouldn't do this in a Mustang convertible. I'll tell you that right now. Pushing one's luck is never a good idea. You know, you can get a punctured tire anywhere. It doesn't even have to be the road doing it to you. But if you find yourself on something like this with a punctured tire, you're just as screwed as if you were on a paved road. Except you need to get yourself out. So, but this is pretty good. This is the perfect use of a Jeep. And so that's what we're doing today. We're heading up. Now it starts to come into view again. The mountain up on the hill there. So, it's not a typical hike around here. It's a little bit off the beaten path as far as access and information, but it's a good hike for people who like to hike, and it's got unique vegetation up on top that you're not going to find anywhere else. In some cases, you'll find it on no other islands either. So it's quite endemic. So we're heading up to see what it's all about. Weather looks pretty good right now, which is also a feature here that we need to be aware of, because otherwise you just get fogged in and you can't see anything. So I think we've got a few things going for us, so as long as those parameters stay in place, we should be okay to get some decent video. It's kind of fun to drive a Jeep on this stuff. You just got to always be mindful that you sign your name on a contract and it pulls until you turn the car back in, so no matter what you're driving. So the best insurance you can purchase is to buy a car that can handle the road. That's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? So we're now, according to the odometer, which I set the second trip odometer at the start, we're at 3.4 in. So we've been going 3.4 on this stuff right now. We're not four-wheel drive at this point in time, but again, I think the choice of a Jeep is the right choice if you look at this. So now we're looking at this stuff, and we just got up a little hill, so we're switching to four-wheel drive at this point in time, which means you're in drive, and you can be driving, you're spinning, so pull it into four-wheel drive, and suddenly you can go. Very nifty. It didn't slower, but it was slow anyway. So we started skidding a little bit, so we decided to switch it over. And since we're not auto professionals, I also will admit we have the book sitting right on the lap. Everybody needs a little guidance once in a while, so it's good when the book is in the car. In the Jeep, I don't know if it's in all Jeeps, but it's not in the glove box in this case. It's in the back door. There's a little gate, and looks like we got something going on up here, whatever it is. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a cattle egret for starters, and then a piece of heavy equipment equipment. So this is when the adventure begins. If you could smell the dust here, you'd know. So he's wanting us out of the way, which fortunately we have a little Y here, so we're just going to sit here and wait. He's got dust mask on, there's a reason for that. Look at the dust here. Start singing. On the road again, I can't wait to get on the road again. We've been through a few of these. I think McCarthy in Alaska comes to mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Patagonia. The Denali Highway in Alaska comes to mind. And there's one other place I'm thinking of. I can't remember where it was. But there have been places. There have definitely been places. Definitely. A little bit of pinging here and there, so it might be a good idea to use premium gasoline for this. That's just surmising. Given the car has about 10,000 on it. A car like this should be able to go a long way. I just want to say I forgot Africa in that list of places. Definitely Africa. Let's see where we are now. 5.2 miles. Mammal season open units B, C, D, and E February to October. Saturday, Sunday, and state holiday. So no hunting today. The side note here again is hunting season seems to be open February through October in the weekends and holidays. So Saturday, Sunday, and holidays. So that may not be the smartest time to come up to hike, just because I personally don't believe that every hunter is an experienced person. Everybody makes mistakes. Heart attacks happen when you have the finger on the trigger and what have you. So if you're gonna hike during hunting season, then at least wear something bright, like an orange shirt or something. But personally, I would probably stay away from that. So weekdays during hunting season, February through October, would be my recommendation for something like this. So we're now in 6.9 in. And temperature is definitely getting cooler up here. It's good to bring your fleece. You never know what altitude can do to your body temperature. But quite different vegetation that we have downstairs. And all these pine trees and evergreens and ferns and moss. We'll have ohia trees up here. A little bit like Volcano and the Big Islands, that type of environment. Parts of Haleakala in Maui. I don't think you want to try this in a sedan, folks. This is just not the kind of thing you want to do in a sedan. Especially not if it's not your sedan. Or perhaps particularly if it's your sedan. We're in four-wheel drive. We pretty much stayed in four-wheel drive for the last 2 miles. Since we hit the sign at 5.2, we've stayed in four-wheel drive the whole way. So I don't think I'm about to exit four-wheel drive. So you definitely get your guts shaking around a little bit doing this. The Munro Trail in Lanai bears some semblance to this thing here. And again, imagine after heavy rainfall what you're looking at up here. 1, you would have less dust. 2, you would have more mud. So where's the trade-off? I'm not sure. You get a really good like island rain, you will really have some nice mud to get through to get up here. If you ever wanted to know what it feels like to be on an African safari, as far as bumpiness, this is about it. This is about right. Like 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours at night or more. So you got some issues with spinal compression. It's not your kind of thing. One little one for the faint of heart up here. Imagine that with a little bit of water puddling in it and stuff. I think we'll take it this way. This is when you want your clearance. And go slow. That kind of shit can get your head bumping against the ceiling. So we decided, as we're driving through here, for those who've been to Maui or going to Maui, that the road to Hana is to a convertible what the road to Kamiko is to a four-wheel drive. That's about the right comparison. And the main difference is undulations, vertical undulations and pavement. The curves are about the same.
So this is a sandalwood measuring pit. This is from the 1800s when they had the big sandalwood rush in Hawaii where foreigners would buy sandalwood and the Hawaiian chiefs would get their people to gather sandalwood. And this pit is supposed to be the size of a hold of a ship. So what would happen was they would basically cut sandalwood and fill it up, and once they filled it up, this pit up, they know they had the amount for a ship, and then the buyers would buy that set of wood.
The question is, how the hell do they get the sandalwood back down without something like that? But this is pretty ingenious if you think about it, because how would they do it? And probably also the fact that I'm sure there weren't a bunch of really awesome chainsaws around at the time, so you might want to like cut it to size so you don't have to recut. Just a thought. Because an extra cut might take a few guys a little while, so that all made some sense.
All I know is that the sandalwood thing was one of the things that really broke down Hawaiian society, is what they say. So it's kind of a tragic part of the past.